What is up, Disney nerds? Today, I just finished watching Peter Pan and Wendy, which, if you don't know, is the Peter Pan remake from the 1950s, which is one of my favorite Disney movies ever. I don't know why, I just always really liked it as a little kid. I don't know, there was always something about it that always made me feel like whimsical. I just finished watching it and I figured I'll give my review on it, my thoughts. I'm going to be including spoilers in this, so if you don't want to get spoiled for the movie, make sure you go watch it before you watch this review. With that being said, let's jump right into it. So diving first into this movie, I knew that it was going to be a Disney remake, and I know the past, few years Disney's been remaking their stuff, and some of it's been really good, like Beauty and the Beast and Jungle Book, and some of it's been really bad, such as Mulan and Dumbo. So I'm a big Peter Pan fan, and I was scared. I didn't know if this movie was going to be good, going to be bad, but it was actually pretty surprising as a Disney remake comes. Now, it wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad either. So I'm going to basically dive deep into each category like I normally do, starting off with the plot. For plot, I'm going 7 out of 10. It's a pretty decent plot, it's pretty much the same plot as the Peter Pan movie from the 50s. Now, there is like 3 sections, like 3 acts to this movie, and the first act, I actually really liked it. I was very immersive in it when like they're in London in Wendy's room, like Peter Pan like catching his shadow. I really liked that scene. I was like, oh wow, they're actually sticking to the source material, because that's something I don't really care for with the Disney remakes, is when they kind of change up the story. That's what I really hated about Dumbo and Mulan, is they just completely switch the story around, and when you do that, I don't like it. So with Peter Pan, I was like, oh wow, they're actually sticking to it. And then kind of when they arrived onto Neverland, I was like a bit like shooken up. And then there started to be the whole stuff with Captain Hook's backstory, and like I really like Captain Hook's backstory. Now, Captain Hook's backstory is really, he was a friend of Peter Pan, and for me that's actually really cool. He was his first lost boy, and then of course Captain Hook, he missed his mom, and so he kind of went away, and Peter Pan banished him from Neverland because he missed his mom. Now for me, that is like a crazy move on Peter Pan's part, and that's why I really sympathized with Captain Hook, because I'm like, dude, if my best friend banished me all because I started missing my parents, I would be kind of resentful too. I would go after him too. Like, that's kind of like a really rude move. And now Captain Hook, of course, got raised by pirates and became a captain and seeks revenge. Now, in the original Peter Pan movie, growing up, I realized Peter Pan is one of the worst characters of all time, meaning he is like the worst child ever. Now, like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like Peter Pan is evil. And I feel like this Peter Pan is very much kinder, and you feel like he does things that are like joking vibes, but then like, of course, there is that backstory with Captain Hook where you're like, whoa, Peter Pan's also like evil. Also, I very much related to Wendy, where she was afraid of growing up, because even as a 17-year-old teenager right now, I am a bit afraid of growing up. I don't want to deal with a lot of responsibilities, and I was coming from Wendy's perspective. So honestly, plot wise, 7 out of 10. Like I said, it was really good, just the second act really kind of fell apart on me. Alright, for visually, I'm going 6 out of 10. Now, the visual effects in this movie were great. I love the look of Neverland, where you got the rainbow, you got the planets in the background. I like the ship flying, and I like, they all look realistic flying in the sky. Now, the only problem is I feel like some of the cinematography for me doesn't really land, or some of the, I don't know, like, I feel like it's a bit dark sometimes, like darker than it should be. especially in the second act, and I think that's where I was also kind of losing it, where, like Peter Pan died. I felt like that was extremely, like, it was going in, like, a dark tone in the story, and even in, like, person, like, in, like, visual effects wise, and like I was getting trouble to see. Like I was like, I hate when movies do that, when it gets so dark, and that's why I really don't care for, let's say, some DC films, because they do that, they tend to do that. But overall, it was great visual effects. Tinkerbell, I don't know what her deal was. She looked great. Honestly, Tinkerbell's character was amazing with her body language, but I felt like there was like a CGI part in like her face. I don't know what that was about, but it wasn't awful. But I definitely noticed it. But yeah, 6 out of 10. For acting, I'm going 7 out of 10. Now, here's my thing with the acting. Wendy, for me, stole the show. Wendy was an incredible actress. Whoever played Wendy, she was an amazing actress. I think she did a phenomenal job. Peter Pan did a phenomenal job. Even though I felt Peter Pan was only in the first half of this movie. I get it, he died, but like even before he died, like for like I would say a good like 10 to 15 minutes, he was useless, and then he died. Honestly, I was scared of Peter Pan. I didn't know how the actor was going to be playing him when I saw the trailer. But in the long run, he was good. He was very good then in the last act. I truly liked him. But I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just because he died and he wasn't there. But like I feel like he wasn't the valuable player here like he was in the animated movie. Definitely Wendy. And Captain Hook was also really good. Jude Law, of course, he played a great Captain Hook. It's just, I felt he didn't look like Captain Hook. Now, I'm not saying like physical features or anything like that. I'm saying just like costume-wise and everything. Like as you see Captain Hook in the back here, red hat, mustache, you know, like stuff like that. He only wore like a red suit once when he killed Peter Pan. Besides that, he never wore red. Like, and I feel like he never had the hat on. He never had like the hair like poofy. It was always like straight and like wet. I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit, but I felt like Hook was a little bit much. And also like I felt like he was a bit overly angry. Like, and I get why he's angry. But compared to the first one where like he's supposed to be like silly angry, going like, I want to you know, like end this kid, like, oh, I'm so tired of him. He was more like sinister. And that's why in the first original movie I really liked Captain Hook. Like I love Captain Hook. He was like, oh my god, like he's such a relatable villain. Like you hate this kid. But in this one, he's kind of really dark, and like he's going to like send the kids off the plank just to exist. Like it's like, whoa, because they're kids. I don't know, maybe I'm overthinking this a little bit, but I didn't really care for Jude Law's performance as Hook. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't my thing. Also, I did not like Smee. Smee looked incredible. I thought he was amazing looking, but his acting, no. Smee was supposed to be the dumb, funny sidekick. In this movie, he is the serious one. Smee's supposed to be the one like, yes, sir. Oh my god, sir. Yes, sure. Oh my gosh. Like Renfield. He's supposed to be Renfield for Dracula. And it's not. Like, he is, I don't know. Like, I don't like it. I don't know. I'm overthinking this. But Wendy and Peter Pan were good. Jude Law was alright. So 6 out of 10. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't awful. Now, soundtrack, 5 out of 10. There's nothing really incredible. There's no soundtrack, really. Also, I am so mad. Where's the Following the Leader song? Like, what? I can understand whole native scene. Like, take that out. Like, that is a horrible song. You know, take that out. But Following the Leader, like, that is a Disney iconic song. And why isn't it not in this movie? I don't know. That's just me. Like, that's what I really liked about Beauty and the Beast. They have all the original songs and some new ones. This one, nope, got rid of all of them. So, like, it's like, really? Come on. Next, we got action, and I'm going 6 out of 10. There isn't too much action until, like, the end where we see the whole fighting scene, and that scene is really good, but besides that scene, there really isn't any action. So enjoyment, I'm going 7 out of 10. I did end up enjoying this movie. Like I said, like there wasn't anything awful about it, but there wasn't anything great about it. If the second act was better, I probably would have liked this movie a lot more. And I did really enjoy this movie a lot. It was just Act 1 and Act 3 were incredible. I really loved it, but Act 2 fell through on me. Now, ending, I'm going 8 out of 10. The ending for me was really emotional. I really liked it. You find out Peter Pan actually lived with where Wendy lives. He missed his mom, so he went there. And that's why he kind of betrayed Captain Hook and was a bad friend, because he was dealing with a lot of emotion. Again, there's a lot of that growing up aspect. And I think coming from a teenager that's turning into an adult soon, within like the next year and a half or year, I'm a bit nervous too. So I've definitely related to this ending, and that's why I think I really like this movie a lot more than probably the typical person. So overall, I'm going to give Peter Pan and Wendy a 72 out of 100, or 7 out of 10, whatever you'd like to say. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I think it was really good, except for Act 2. That if Act 2 was really good, I would have really liked it. It's honestly better than what I thought it would have been. It could have been a bit better, but it wasn't awful, and it was actually a pretty decent film. I just wish Disney would kind of stop remaking stuff that we don't really need. And if you are going to remake it, don't put it on Disney Plus, because that just is a red flag. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stayed this long, please make sure you like and subscribe and ring the bell for more future videos and reviews like this. With that being said, thank you so much. Disney out. Peace.